Hello world! I'm Chris Pirillo, and I can't hear you. I can only hear the announcements being streamed into this gadget here because I don't have the rights to rebroadcast anything that Apple is broadcasting from Wwdc. I am streaming this live specifically for my patrons on chrispirillo.com. I suppose we could also let the patrons on geekfamilyfun.com know as well, if they're so inclined to know my thoughts on WWDC. I have not been shy in terms of sharing my lack of enchantment in relation to this year's set of announcements. I expect to hear a variety of things today. A few rumors don't have me excited. In fact, it's just the opposite of excitement. Yeah, I don't know about this, folks. I'm just hoping that I will be whelmed. I'm fairly confident I won't be overwhelmed. I don't think I'm going to be underwhelmed, but that's kind of what I'm expecting. I just want to be whelmed, which to me is good in relation to the current state of consumer electronics, consumer technologies. I mean, we're talking about screwdrivers, folks. That's it. That's not very exciting to me. And I haven't really been excited about anything in the industry for going on, just checking the lack of a watch here, years now. I've been doing my best, actually, to strip away extraneous bits of technology from my life, and I can't explain to you enough how freeing that has been. I don't really have a lot of tech around me right now. I don't need a lot of tech. In fact, I think this is the first time I've been using a desktop machine, a traditional computer, for the first time in a month. Right here. It's what I'm using to stream out to the interwebs. Normally I use my pocket computer. So today I'm mixing it up a bit. If only because the software that YouTube has created for live streaming is half-assed, quite honestly. I mean, it works, just not very well. But it's kind of how I feel around a lot of technology these days, whether we're talking about hardware or software. I think the word I would use would be half-assed. For everything out there today, half-assed. So if you wonder why I'm not as excited as other people might be about this stuff, it's because I generally don't get excited over things that are half-assed. So if you came here looking for sunshine and lollipops, that's not me. I'm Chris Pirillo. Yeah, been doing this for 20 years, and you know what? Over time, I've been proven right several times over in relation to my perspectives, my opinions, in relation to consumer electronics, the consumer technology industry. It's mundane. It's commonplace. It's terribly underwhelming. Everything out there today is not quite ready for prime time, or just barely. Like, we're living in perpetual alpha, it feels like. And that's not exciting. So I'm hearing the presentation will begin shortly. I trust that this is true. By the way, I'm watching our chat room, which all the patrons are invited to. You're welcome to become a patron. Head over to chrispirillo.com or geekfamilyfun.com. I like answering questions. I genuinely do. Although sometimes I admit I can be a little brackish in responses. Someone asked me which smartphone was better, one random device versus another, and honestly, I couldn't tell you the difference aside from the names. They're both the same. They have a screen. You can use them to browse the web and download apps. They're all the same. Oh my God. Does the Emperor have no clothes? So to keep me interested, because quite honestly, that's why I like talking about things that interest me. I want to be interested. That gets me passionate. And, well, being interested doesn't get me passionate. I am passionate because I'm interested. So in order to maintain my interest as I trudge through this WWDC set of announcements, because I'm expecting, just like, going back several years, I say it began with the release of iOS 7, like the beta of iOS 7. You could probably find that video still. You can see the look on my face. I'm just not going to hide it. I got, no one to answer to. Maybe the patrons, I guess. But anyway, to keep my interest, in case we hit a lull, I've got a stack of Star Wars figures that I've been waiting to open. I've had them for some time, and when I say stack, I mean, like, literal stack. Like, this gets me excited. This stuff is interesting. So, Apple, you have a tower of figures that you have to topple. That is the challenge for Apple. So will I make it through this entire stack? I don't know. But in case I do, I also found this the other day on sale, like half off. Didn't know it existed. A Gamorrean Guard car, the Hot Wheels set that we should have fun with. I have another one that I'm going to keep in box, but this one I'll be opening. Maybe even today, maybe even during this broadcast. And in case I am so inclined, I also have this ton box. I've talked about all these things before. This, to me, is exciting. This, right here, this is more exciting than any rumor I've heard in relation to whatever Apple thinks is going to make everybody happy. Okay. I may topple this tower of figures, too. If I want to... It almost toppled itself! Okay, they're all just going to get dropped to the floor. Okay, so they're just playing music that I'm really not into at all. Not my style. It's really kind of fitting, honestly. I mean, I have eclectic tastes, but it's a little too millennial for me. I have no other way of describing this music right now. Millennial. But at least it's working. At least Apple allows people to tune into WWDC live. It used to be the case that wasn't the case. I reflect longingly on the days gone by when apps were interesting and devices, changed lives. As I said just a few minutes ago, it's kind of routine now. It's commonplace. It's a little dull. Some people get excited, but I'm like, really? One of the rumors? A file manager for iOS. Because people think this is 2007. They're excited over a file manager. I hope this is the last time over the course of the next hour or two that I have this expression on my face. I'm going to zoom in to chat here. Oh, yeah, we better do that. Give me a second. I am going to make sure everybody has an invite to the Discord chat. Here we go. I imagine what we're seeing right now is behind the scenes at Apple. They're talking about the big move, which would be the moving from where Apple has been to the spaceship campus. The space donut. Oh, he pulls out his iPod. That's pretty quaint. I remember iPods. Yeah. It's really neat to have digital music. I mean, that was novel. It was different. Oh, and then we're looking at an app. Someone playing a game on a smartphone. And apps are disappearing on people's phones. Now, they were walking into a server room that was labeled App Store. Makes me wonder what they're going to be doing with apps. Okay. iPhone screens are changing. Interest is peaked. Basically, Apple's demonstrating how people can't live without their smartphones, and that's true. Pocket computers are commonplace and essential. Name one person you know who doesn't have a smartphone. Well, you probably know at least one person. I shouldn't challenge you on that. So it's kind of humorous, right? Living life without apps, right? That's how tied in we are to not just technology, but to each other. It's keep making apps. The world is depending on you. That was the thing. Apps very exciting to talk about. It's like talking about websites. Tim Cook takes the stage. WWDC 17 kicks off. Actually, I wonder. I better not. I haven't used my tablet in 2 months. Why? I mean, it's for a lot of reasons. This is going to be the best and biggest WWDC ever. Don't they say that at every WWDC or something like that? I admit it, developers I used to view as rock stars. It's true. I mean, I've always been a software guy. I mean, without good software, what's the point of hardware? It's true. I don't care about hardware. And quite honestly, with the state of today's software and the array of software, and I'm not just talking from one vendor, one platform, just everything I see is just so incredibly poor, lackluster. So they got a lot of developers in the room. Apple has 16 million registered developers. That's a lot. It's more than a few. Developers are getting younger and younger too, which is cool because I'm hoping that by the time Jedi's ready, I'll be able to introduce her to the power of technology. We shall see. It's just talking about developers, young and old, male, female. See, the thing about the tech industry is it does not require a penis. Now, I don't know if you knew this. It's kind of like video games or Star Wars. Like a penis is optional, really. Some people don't quite understand that, though. It's a thing, right? Technology doesn't care. It can be harnessed by anybody, used by anybody, developed by anybody. That's its power. So we got 4 platforms now on the screen: tvOS, watchOS, macOS, and iOS. So I'm assuming we're going to be talking about the lot of them. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Give me something to look forward to. Just one thing. Oh, good. They're not doing the self-congratulatory, we made this much money, we're doing this, platform that. They're jumping right into 6 important announcements. Starting with 1, tvOS. Okay. I still don't understand the Apple TV app. The TV app, I mean, I get it, kind of, but it just seems to be like remixing everything into one app, which I guess is the idea, but it's very weird. And so they got different partners that they integrate within the app. But today they're announcing that Amazon is coming to Apple TV. Oh, Apple TVs later this year get Prime Video. Cool. So we're getting the thing that we should have had years ago. Is that kind of what's going on? And we won't get it until later this year. Just so we're clear there. That's a big one. Wow, that's tvOS. That's the big announcement for tvOS. Okay, number 2, Apple Watch. Checking the time here. Oh, apparently it's the number 1 selling smartwatch, which isn't saying much because everything else is utter crap. I've used the Apple Watch to give it credit. You know, it's really convenient to do this and check the time and weather. I use it probably more frequently for the weather when I remember to wear it. Right, I charge it every night. We got some updates to watchOS. Here we go. Here comes Kevin Lynch. So watchOS 4 is being introduced. No, I'm sorry. So we're getting new watch faces. Okay. Yeah. Talking about tweaking the watch face. Oh, they're talking about automatically. Oh, don't say the S word. Siri. There's a Siri watch face. And it automatically displays information with the same type of intelligence they applied to iOS. You know how many times I've used Siri on macOS? Once! And that was on accident. Oh, as they're scrolling through the Apple Watch interface, it's very smooth. There's like not a frame drop, which is obviously fake. That's not real. Apple Watch OS or the Watch OS drops frames left and right. It's never been that smooth. So it's a dynamically updating watch face, which I gotta tell you, I mean, Siri is strike one. Ah, hell. No, I'm going to say it. Siri is strike two. I don't know if I want a watch face that's constantly changing like that. A kaleidoscope face, a symmetrical pattern, and it's a kaleidoscope watch face with multiple styles. People are applauding. Oh, we now have Toy Story animated watch faces with Woody and Buzz Lightyear. And you get different animations, vignettes as they call them. Okay. Now we're going to talk about activity, which I largely ignore. But now they're more personalized, the activity notifications. So you get inspiration in the morning to let you know if you're accomplishing an achievement, something I've just not paid attention to in a year. Oh, now we have monthly challenges because life just isn't challenging enough. Here's a challenge for you. Stop eating junk. I'm just saying. It's probably more important to keep in mind what it is that you're ingesting than what it is that you're doing there. Just saying. Garbage in, garbage out. Chicho. Oh, and they announced the workout app. There's another app I have yet to use. Now, I know that some of you guys are really active and into exercising and stuff, but I'm going to open the Death Trooper. Actually. Ow. Yeah, they're talking about a new workout type. High intensity interval training. Okay, how many calories am I burning right now? And if you want to do more than one workout in a row, there apparently is an easier way of doing that. Okay. The reason why I sliced into this very carefully is because I'm not going to save the box, but I've been holding on to, as I mentioned recently, the backdrop. See, it's pretty nice. I can use that for photos. If I can just get lighting right in here. They're enabling, for the first time, a data exchange with gym equipment in case you have a gym membership that you use for longer than one visit. I don't know, it's possible, I guess. It's one thing I've never done. Signed up for a gym. Cool! Alright, that's it. Sorry, I was saying cool for the figure here. So, can you articulate the arms? You should be able to. The elbow, there we go. That's what I want. So, you can integrate with the gym equipment that you don't use. Now they're going to talk about music. Talking about Apple Watch paired with AirPods. I don't have AirPods. Don't want them. Don't need them. Now they're going to automatically sync music. Do people still do that? I don't know. I guess I stream. Now we've got a finger that will fit into the piece there. Cool. Oh, now they support multiple playlists on the watch. Now it's a magical listening experience, which tells me that before now, it hasn't been. So I don't believe in synchronizing with hardware that isn't mine. Great idea. I wouldn't do it. Oh, someone's excited to be here. Oh, she's going to demonstrate the watch. The new dock. You can scroll through recently used apps. It reminds me a lot of how Android has been working for the longest time in terms of task switching, app switching. Yeah. See, look at the frame rate there. It's not as smooth as the first one. Did you see that? As she was scrolling through the Siri watch face, did you see? Did you notice? I did. That was definitely not as smooth as the original animation that they were showing in the demonstration. And there's a cat photo there. By the way, this was a Death Trooper, Black Series Death Trooper, with a pauldron and a couple of weapons. Super articulated. Not that I care about the articulation necessarily, but it's nice. It's going to stand next to the other Death Trooper that I have possibly up there. Actually, I have to open the other one, the non-Black Series. So you can read stories on your watch now. Like the full, you could read a lot on your wrist. Super small screen, you can read. So now the watch will remind you that you haven't reached your movement goals. So at the end of the day, hey, come on, get your duff off the couch and you complete those rings. This one. Scarif Trooper. She's in a workout. And she can swipe to the left and her music's right there. This is amazing for people. I'm not joking. It's amazing for people who work out and who trust hardware that's not their own to integrate with, who track their activity. I'm not taking away from that, man. I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. But there's more coming too, including a flashlight in the control center. Oh, and of course, updates for developers. Faster app responsiveness, that's interesting. Screen auto rotate, that might be a bit annoying. Core Bluetooth. Oh, so integration with other devices around you. Like specifically devices that were designed with this in mind. A lot of sports stuff, a lot of activity stuff. Like surfing or playing tennis or golfing. Developer preview is available today. Free upgrade for everybody this fall. Cool. Tim says watchOS 4 is a great update. So it must be true. A product now. We're talking about the heart and soul of Apple. According to Tim, we're talking about the Mac. In fact, I'm going to name this Scarif Stormtrooper Mac. The Mac, not the Mac, Mac. And I'll call him Cheese. Mac and Cheese. I don't like that either. So Tim says no one can match the deep integration of hardware and software in relation to the Mac, and that is, for the most part, accurate. So I'm guessing Federighi's coming to stage. Yep. Talking about what's coming with Mac OS. I'm not expecting anything radically different. In fact, what they've got on the screen seems similar. they're showing Sierra. So we do learn about the new name. So it looks like it's an incremental upgrade. It sounds like it's an incremental upgrade. They said this year they wanted to perfect it, which again makes me kind of wonder, what have we been using? We're about to hear the name. There's a mountainous wallpaper. It is High Sierra. It's not a marijuana joke, is it? High Sierra? Yeah, he said this might be misconstrued. Oh, Craig. He said the name is fully baked. Oh. He says it's all about deep technology. Okay? He said they also added refinements, starting with Safari, which a lot of people just don't use. Now they're basically benchmarking Safari. Everyone's got their favorite browser. I don't think anybody's going to flip to Safari because they say it's the world's fastest desktop browser if they weren't already using it. This is the thing about these benchmarks. For the most part, they're synthetic. And in terms of real world performance, I don't know if anybody's going to see the difference. Even with the alleged faster JavaScript performance compared to, say, Google Chrome, which is they have built in autoplay blocking in Safari. It will now be baked in. That's a thing. Now they're mentioning privacy. He's talking about tracking. And it now has intelligent tracking prevention. Okay. That's cool. I honestly don't run into a lot of autoplay problems, if only because of how I blocked that crap from loading in the first place. Yeah, the intelligent tracking prevention is somewhat interesting. Now we're talking about refinements to mail, including search top hits if you still use email. And there's a full screen split view. I guess I'm not in a scenario where I use that feature full screen. Now it uses up to 35% less disk space. The biggest area of refinement is in photos. Okay. So just added filtering options, new editing tools, they say. Better face recognition. I don't take a lot of pictures of people though. It's well, I'll take a picture of mac and cheese later. Why did I say that? Editing tools built right in, including curves, which looks like it's using the histogram. Lets you modify color in a selective range. You wondered what happened to aperture. It looks like they've really built that in. Synchronization tools with Photoshop, apparently, like the editing back and forth, if that's your thing. Also, now third parties can print from photos. Mm. All based on projects in Photos. Those are some quick refinements. His main story is technology, so talking about data. They're talking about HFS, their file system. I wonder if we're going to get the same file system as we've seen in iOS. Yep. Yeah, APFS is going to Mac OS. Now, when iOS got APFS, no one saw a hiccup, and I think it somewhat improved performance, somewhat, not like by a massive degree, but it's safe and secure, ultra responsive. This is a nice update. It's a solid update. Faster. And so they're demonstrating how it works right now compared to how it will work based on the new improvements in the file system. And I hope the upgrade is seamless as it was with iOS, and if it works similarly, it'll also really, show in spots how things are a little more responsive than they used to be, and just a barely a skosh. Now they're talking about video. There's a new standard, H.265, high efficiency video. Now, if you're interested in video at all, that's a big thing. Better compression algorithm than H.264, up to 40% savings. Wow. Now they're building it in. Hardware acceleration for the newest Macs. And they're building it into Pro Tools like Final Cut. Interesting. Now they're talking about graphics and the GPU. Are they unlocking its power? And they're talking about metal. And they're showing a game that I'm sure no one plays on the Mac. There's a new version of Metal. High Metal? Oh, Metal 2. That's what they're calling it. It says it's fast. Driver optimizations, uniform variables, up to 10 times better draw call throughput. So, we'll see. We'll see how well it actually plays out. I mean, they've made optimizations, obviously, but they they accelerated everything. So they basically put Windows Server on Metal. Now, see, that may be interesting to me because you're talking about just accelerating the feel of everything like that. That's impressive. And they're talking about for external graphics. Yeah, external GPUs. Metal 2 will support that. Yeah, that to me is interesting. I mean, because it's not been horrible like in terms of desktop performance, but it could have definitely been better. I was hoping for a lot better with Metal, specifically on Mac OS, but hadn't seen any incremental improvements. Like really, I mean, there was just not that much of an acceleration that came about, with every passing year that I would have been hoping for. Oh, they're also bringing Metal for VR for anybody who is into VR. I am absolutely not. So that's a big deal because a lot of people have been slagging Apple because they don't necessarily have the hardware or software to handle VR. Yeah, Valve's bringing the Steam VR SDK, Unity, Unreal. Their engines for VR are coming over as well. That's going to make a lot of developers happy. I'm interested in seeing the day-to-day, that Windows server on Metal. That's what I've been waiting for. That to me, that's exciting. That, believe it or not, that to me just makes something better. Developer beta available today. Late June, public beta. I'm not inclined to do that. It'll be an upgrade, free upgrade this fall. Yeah, we may get some hardware updates. Something I really wasn't expecting to hear a lot about at WWDC specifically. Yeah, it's kind of a surprise. And they're talking about an iMac update. So displays are getting better, which is a really big deal if you're into photo or video. But for the average person, I'd be shocked if the average person was even interested in an iMac or a desktop or even a notebook computer. Honestly, a lot of it's overkill. They're all going to Kaby Lake, but most people won't. Like I said, most people won't see that. I mean, they won't even see the differences with Metal and Metal 2 when implemented. Fusion drives are going to be standard, up to 50% faster SSDs, up to 2 terabytes. Uh, 2x Thunderbolt 3, USB Type C. Let's see here. So I guess this is still connected by way of FireWire through a conversion cable. And then I have the video converter. That's USB 2.0. Next generation graphics. So integrated GPU gets a boost. I mean, it's just they're updates. I don't know. I guess every time they've updated these, I mean, they're not bad. I mean, I'm not slagging them for that, but um, I can't see the differences personally. But I can't always perceive differences outright. Even with allegedly faster stuff, allegedly better stuff. I don't know. To me, sometimes it's kind of a law of diminishing returns. Unless you're talking about leapfrogging, 4 generations of devices. Faster graphics is what they're saying. That's all you need to know. And they're talking about the different versions of the iMac. Now they're talking about the iMac Retina 5K 27-inch. That's a mouthful. Radeon Pro 570, 575, 580. Couldn't tell you anything about any one of those. They're video cards. That's about it. So graphics power for pros. Like I said, this is really, more than anything, the Mac is fine for yesterday's consumer. I find them more and more floating to not just prosumers, but just professionals in general, right? I think being tethered to a piece of hardware like that is usually contingent or reliant, or I guess codependent on what your career choice might happen to be, right? Where you go to work. Like, for example, someone named John from ILM is on stage, probably talking about the new hardware and how it works amazingly better than he's an artist. Computer artist. Not that there should be a difference, really. A creative. So they're going to be doing a demo. See, she's putting on a VR goggle headset and a couple of. Okay, now I'm interested. That's Mustafar. That's Vader's castle right there. All right. That's pretty cool to be immersed in Star Wars stuff. Not that I really want to, spend $1 billion on a VR headset. But I'd immerse myself. Sure, why not? Star Wars. That's cool. I wouldn't upgrade everything just to see this in real life, but it's exciting. She almost fell over there. I don't know what's going on. I still have a problem of not throwing up when it comes to VR. It's smooth. I mean, it's clean. She like throwing. Wow, it's almost like casting a fishing rod. Darth Vader. It's like I knew. What? Holy. See, now this is actually interesting. It's not the technology, it's what the technology unlocks. It's what the technology allows you to do. It's pretty wild, man. Yeah, see, all I would need is this, right? I'd never leave the house again. Not that I leave the house all that often to begin with. I'm telling you, that would do it. Star Wars. That's the answer to everything. It's just too expensive right now. Not I couldn't even come close to justifying that cost. Maybe in another 5-10 years. Okay, that was the best part, period, end of story of the entire presentation today. Y'all thought I was crazy with the Star Wars figures. Well, who's laughing now? Did I ever open this one? Speaking of Darth Vader. Star Wars is always relevant. Always. Anybody says otherwise doesn't know their ass from their elbow. Where did the... Oh. Yeah. New Imacs. So... Can you see? Darth Vader owie. That's what Jedi says. Although I don't like the sculpt of this helmet at all. It looks very odd, like gumdroppy. It's not bad, though. So a 4K iMac starting at $12.99. Okay. Cool, I guess. Let's do this. Oh, and they're refreshing the notebooks as well. How? So notebooks are getting KB Lake. There we go. Everything's getting an upgrade. Yeah, I have this one in box, but I don't think I ever opened... well, I'm glad I got the duplicate, of course. Somewhat super articulated as far as the 3.75-inch scale figure is concerned. Yeah, updates on the MacBooks. Yeah, he just looks weird. I mean, he just doesn't look like... Oh, MacBook Air is even getting a bump. Oh, and they're all shipping today. Honestly, I don't know if I'm... I don't know if I'm as kind of interested in those types of upgrades, because they just don't happen all that often. I mean, I can't imagine, upgrading more than once every 3 to 5 years. Because like I said, I mean, I just don't use these systems all that much anymore. Now, playing Star Wars VR stuff, that would change everything. Okay, Vader, you get to stand there. It's a nice one. So now they're talking about pushing the iMac. They say something's not going to ship until later this year. Sneak peek to something. And Apple... This isn't Star Wars. Oh, black. That was cool, actually. I'd prefer a black mouse. And a black keyboard. Wait. iMac Pro. Interesting. Yeah. I'm about that black keyboard and black mouse. I'm in. Yeah, space gray finish. Which I would prefer, personally. Not that I would upgrade to it outright. Because I wouldn't. It says it'll be the most powerful Mac ever. They say that about every new Mac. I mean, how's that exciting? People clap. They increased the cooling capacity. The CPU is going to be shipping with an 8-core Xeon processor. Like I said, if you have the apps that take advantage of it, it's also going to have a 10-core Xeon processor. The average person, overkill. But this is for the pros. Oh, they're going up to 18 cores. Yeah. You know the last time I edited video? Oh, months. God. Couldn't even tell you. They got a new GPU core. Radeon Vega. It's fast. It's fast. That's what it boils down to. Yeah, but see, honestly, the more time goes on, the less inclined I am to go desktop. I go just the opposite. They make me more mobile. Okay, yeah, iMac Pro, right? Get back to that black keyboard and the black mouse, and it better be available individually. They better be available individually. Like that. That would be amazing. It could drive up to 44 million pixels, and they've got a whole bunch of uh, updates to it, like 1080p FaceTime camera because it's 2017. I'm guessing it's right around $4,000. That's a guess, which for what it is, isn't horrible, especially if it's tied into your profession. Yeah, so now they're doing comparisons with existing PCs. And they say the specs would match, like in terms of an equivalent in the PC realm, it would cost $7,000. So here's the question. Oh, $5,000. I was only off by 1,000. And it's available in December. Let's see if this one's going to stand. It wasn't earlier. Cool. It's going to be the most powerful Mac they ever made. Wow. I already opened that one. Now they're on to announcement number 4, talking about iOS. Everyone applauds. They haven't even done anything yet. Apparently 96% of people are satisfied with iOS 10. They're satisfied. Of course, they're doing comparisons, which isn't exactly fair. That's a given. All right. So I wish... Let's do this. Can I do that? They're turning it up to 11. Show me what you got there, Tim. Craig's coming back onto stage. He says, it's a big one. Okay. They have a lot to talk about. Talking about messages. And they added apps and stickers. I don't really use the... I use the animated GIF inserter. That's what I use, sir. So now there's an app drawer. Looks pretty darn similar. Ow. Ah. Conversations are now synchronized. I like that pike. And they stay in sync, which is cool. You know, I don't mind the additional home. I wish the human would show through. So now you can optimize device storage. So smaller, faster backups. Available for Mac and iOS. And encrypted end-to-end. See? That's not bad. And they updated Apple Pay, too. Now, if only you could get vendors in the field to actually support this, because that's such a haphazard experience. Who cares if your device supports it? It says it'll be supported in 50% of retailers. The retailers that I go to are all confused, right? They don't know what's going on with their payment system. POS is right. Apple Pay person-to-person payments. Cool. Now all I got to do is find somebody that wants to do that. Usually people want to deal in cash. There's an iMessage app. A lot of people not applauding, including Johnny Ive. Not applauding. Dude, this is amazing. But where does it store? Ah, Apple Pay Cash. So you get a cash card. You can make Apple Pay purchases. Oh, now we're talking about Siri. So tell me you're scrapping everything? That's a nice one. That's not bad. So people use Siri. The reason why, by the way, it's like millions of uses of Siri. Sometimes I have to use it 5 times in order for it to understand what the F I'm trying to get it to understand. So it's got a new voice. Oh, it's got a new male voice. Siri has a new visual interface. Follow-up questions and answers with the tap. Multiple results with the query. Translation in beta. My concern is that translation beta doesn't even understand the language I'm speaking half the time. English to Chinese, French, German, Italian, and Spanish. More languages coming. Sirikit can now do task management, payments, of course, notes. I mean, it's interactive across a variety of apps. Siri apparently now understands context, understands your interests, understands how you use your device. And they're trying to go down the route of predictiveness. Siri in iOS 11 will use on-device learning. So it'll be throughout the experience of iOS. So it's allegedly going to get more intelligent. And that intelligence is synced across all your devices. So you're dealing with one Siri. End-to-end encryption, of course. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Based on my experience with Siri, camera app is getting an update. Take 1 trillion photos a year. I take 20 just to get one good shot, though, because unfortunately the actual camera sucks. They're going to be using a new video compression, up to 2x better compression, less storage space used, which is great. Less space used in the cloud, of course. And they're applying the same same algorithms, HEIF, instead of JPEGs, 2x better compression at half the size. But how compatible is that? Yeah, compatible sharing. Okay. That would be the big concern. Oh, portrait mode. What a gimmick. iOS 11. Oh, so they're just improving portrait mode. It may actually be kind of interesting because honestly, portrait mode is. There's a new depth API. They've got moments, a hashtag TBT. That's funny. It's become a thing. Usually I make a mistake. That's how I get to that feature. It's usually a mistake. Live photo updates. Are you going to support animated GIFs finally? Those are some of the big features. A major redesign to Control Center. control center is now a single page. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Oh, they call it a platter. Interesting. So you can 3D touch the various elements. That's a pretty intelligent use of 3D touch. Not sure about those animations, though. So they've redesigned something so it's not as bad. Notifications look the same. They're just showing how you could, like, you can change the key photo of a live photo. Like, you could loop it. And the other effect could bounce, like ping pong effect. I don't know. I guess I don't use live photos all that often. Oh, cool! Jedi's Fizzgig plush arrived! Yay! I got her a little Fizzgig. Kind of interested in seeing that up close. So they're just showing how they automatically generate video with content that you've created. Photos, video. Jedi's accidentally pressed through this before. That's how I discover half the stuff. I'm like, oh, I'll never use that again. So it goes from landscape to portrait in the memories. Oh, we're talking about Siri again. I don't know if I like this at all. Because the problem is like sometimes I'll pull up information in one app, and then if I go into another app and that information follows me, that's actually kind of annoying. Like you're in Safari and you're browsing Iceland, right? Or whatever. Then if you jump into news and Iceland's at the top, I'm like, that would actually annoy the Oh my God! What is up with that massive head? Like the messages header, like new, like big news or big app um. Well, at least we're talking about Star Wars sticker packs. That's interesting. But I don't need to big ass messages at the top of the screen to know I'm in the messages app. Just like in music. But wait, there's more. Maps is getting an update. Uh, internal internal maps, which is actually kind of useful. I was at a mall the other day because I was looking for the C3PO to replace that bent card that you saw, and I didn't know where a store was, and I had to find the directory. So that would have come in handy. Ah, it also is included with airports too, or within airports. Like internal map structure for a variety of internal locations, like malls or airports. So they've got even a notification showing speed limit, lane guidance. That's nice. I like that speed limit idea because most car built-in navigation's horrific. CarPlay. I've yet to see CarPlay once. Do not disturb. Do not disturb while driving. Interesting. So keeping people from being distracted. Interesting. When you install iOS 11, they use. Do not disturb while driving. Actually, this is a really good idea, folks. So now you see nothing when you're driving, when it recognizes that you're driving. That's not a bad idea. That's Now if you try to turn it on, you will not receive notifications while you are driving. But what if you're passaging, right? Yeah, that's what he's and you say I'm not driving and then you can get through. Oh great. Now they're going to get auto replied or like a breakthrough just like they do with do not disturb, which I never leave on anymore. I haven't had do not disturb on for 2 years. HomeKit. Don't have a single smart home device. Not one. I'm so happy. I mean, I genuinely am happy about not having smart home shit. Look at how many accessory makers there are. 99% of that is junk. 99% of it is junk. Junk, 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 junk. So they're adding a new HomeKit category, speakers. Gee, I wonder where this one's going. Airplay 2. Multi-room audio. I wonder if that works even with Apple TVs. That's kind of interesting. Oh no, they're just talking about speaker makers. Yeah, Apple TV. See, that's what I'm talking about. Apple TV. Then okay, so that's kind of neat. You know, playing it throughout the home music. That's pretty cool. That's neat. I mean, see, it gives you, you know, that much more value from the thing that you already have. Okay, Apple Music. I dropped it like a hot potato. 27 million paid subscribers. I don't know, dude. Even with family, it just became a little pricey. So Apple Music now has social networking features to find out what your friends are listening to. Something that I've never been interested in at all. I genuinely, I don't care what you're listening to. Music Kit for Apple Music. It's a new framework there. The App Store. There's big news. Phil Schiller in the App Store. He's excited to talk to us about the App Store. It's turning 9 years old. Some people watching me are younger than that. Yeah. A lot of apps have been downloaded. You know, I don't know if I necessarily mind this Han Solo. He's not gray enough, though. I'm afraid of, like, trying to move it because it's just so hard. I'm afraid I'm going to snap it. Dude, there's no way. Because I don't see it articulating on the other side. Weird. That one I do. They're talking about Pokemon Go. Okay. Han Solo. Ah. Uh, I think I already opened that one. Luke. If you got Han, you need Luke. They've had two goals. Trusted and a safe place for users, and making it a great opportunity for all developers. So they've, you know, changed things for developers somewhat. Faster app review times, which I don't mind, you know, getting updates to my apps, usually. A lot of apps are going to stop working because they're 32-bit, and a lot of the apps that I'd used in the past are shuffling off warnings. Luke's hair is parted on the wrong side. Phase releases. New iOS design resources. Reset rating. Really good stuff for app developers there. Oops. They're going to do something they've never done before. It's going to be redesigned. Okay? Everything's looking like the music app, which I didn't like. So if you didn't like the design of the new music app, I really don't like the design of the music app at all. And now that design is proliferating throughout iOS. So they got a games tab, apps tab. What's the hashtag everybody's using? Because this one really pisses me off. They're just demonstrating the new App Store. And it's designed like the Apple Music app, which honestly, I hated to use so much. Oh. Because the user experience, the UX of the Apple Music app is just so bad. The only way I could use the Apple Music app is not using it. I'm serious. That'd be the 99% of the time I'd use Siri and have to repeat, no, I want to listen to this song. Because using the app itself was just such a pain in the ass. And now, every day there's a new app of the day and a new game of the day and a daily list. I've seriously just like completely lost interest. Not that I had much to begin with, but I don't know. I can't pass judgment until I've used it. Hang on. They're excited. I'm going to open Cassian Andor. Like I said, I got worried when I saw that messages header. Messages! Those are some of the big features of iOS 11. But there's core technologies, Metal 2, which means machine learning. We'll see. Yeah, I've seen how you've used machine learning. I'm not sure that's something to brag about there, Craig. Oops. So now, machine learning can be built into your apps. Vision API, face tracking, face detection, landmarks, text detection, rectangle detection, barcode detection, etc. Natural language API. This is good news for developers, right? More APIs to bring that power to your apps. It's not a bad thing. Oops, I dropped his weapon. Ah! They're talking about Core ML and how it's fast, which is true. It is fast. Next, we're going to talk about AR. I am interested in AR. AR is far more fascinating to me than VR. That's for sure. AR. But they're going to call ARKit. ARKit. So you can build AR stuff into your apps. Cassian Andor. Interesting. It's identifying different. This is a developer application, a test application for AR that allows you to put objects into the scene. The issue I've had with AR in the past has been this massive amount of jitteriness, but I'm not seeing any jitteriness here. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like AR though. I've always been a fan of AR. And what have I long said? I've been dreaming of a day where I could have that built into my glasses. I'd really like that. Yeah, it's neat. I like AR stuff, man. And the fact that there were no markers there, that's pretty astounding. So now it's just baked in. That's impressive. As long as there's no like, have you seen what I'm talking about? Like the jittery, like jumpy, janky. Yeah, but it uses a combination of the camera, CPU, GPU, motion sensors. it's that to me is interesting. It depends on what we're going to see, in terms of implementation. It's not the idea, it's the implementation. AR is interesting to me. I'd imagine like putting that in conjunction with a camera or a camera app to have like 3D, like a Darth Vader in the scene with you, like, or you take a picture of somebody, they're like right there. That'd be kind of neat. So like games. So that a Lego, no, a Lego piece, a minifigure, Craig. So it's like an object, a 3D object. AR. I don't play Pokemon Go, but it's like it's just showing it looks more realistic in the scene. AR is interesting. Wingnut AR, what? Must be a. Oh, they produce AR content. They're talking about AR. And they're going to just demonstrate some kind of AR app. And they're excited, of course. So they're showing AR. I mean, it's cool. I like AR. VR, not so much. That's pretty wild, dude. And it's clean too. I don't see any jumpy janky like I have seen. Like how like the object like starts, it just flies off for a second and then back again. That's pretty cool. Come on, you can't. Now imagine that, like on your face. That's exciting. That's when, like, you wonder, like, Chris, where are you going with all this? Like, actually wearing and seeing, like, because this is kind of like really kind of janky. Like, it's neat, right? But that would be an amazing way to showcase like new products, like to see, like, okay, for example, like this figure, normally you get a photo or a video, but imagine having like the ability to kind of like virtually have this figure in front of you and like get in real close, and be able to see the details of a prototype or an actual shipping object. Yeah, no, I can see why this company's on stage right now, because that is one hell of an AR demo. Again, imagine this with Star Wars, because Star Wars has an AR app, but it's like, it's not, it's gimmicky. Wow, that's impressive. AR is a hell of a lot more exciting. Oh, but I want it on my face. I really do. That's not even a joke. Not even a joke. Oh, they'll have it in the App Store later this year, so you can get it. Oh, wait, crap. Ah! It moved on. I wanted to get all the list of features to like screenshot and look, and then it moved on to China. Ah! I wasn't fast enough. Dang it. Well, so much for that. I wanted to get like the small updates. If anybody else captured that, let me know, cuz I wanted a screenshot of the features. Maybe someone else got it. Hang on, I'm going to check Twitter. Come on, someone screenshot it. Posted it. Come on. No one's getting it there. Come on. I want all the small features. Those are the ones that get me excited. Okay, now they're talking about iPad. No one's posting it, at least people that I'm following here. I'm talking about the iPad. Still. Don't know why, but maybe it's going to look better. You're going to talk about iPad Pro. I'm looking at an iPad Pro right now, but someone screenshotted it. Someone got it. I knew someone would. Yeah, so this iPad Pro, but I kind of can't wait to get rid of the big one. It just the UI is just it's tap to join meetings in iOS 11. Business chat preview, whatever the hell that is. There's a new iPad Pro. Okay, that's the new iPad Pro, but it doesn't look any different. Oh, 10.5-inch Retina display. Larger. It's light, a pound. Yeah, but how's the UI? Because flight status in Spotlight and Safari. QR code support. Interesting. Screen recording in iOS 11. Oh, they're talking about how they can put a keyboard onto the iPad Pro. FaceTime live photos. Interesting. SOS on iPhone. Redesign podcast app. Advanced Wi-Fi analytics. Still talking about the iPad Pro, but they haven't shown the general UI. Because this screen is so large, they didn't optimize it. And honestly, performance was even with the latest version of iOS. There's a new feature called Promotion. Oh, display performance improvement. Display refresh rate hitting 60 hertz. Okay. On the new iPad Pro, doubled it to a 120 refresh rate. Now that all the motion content is smoother, crisp, more responsive. Yep. That just got me to upgrade right there. And 20 millisecond latency with the pencil. I don't use a pencil though. Not a lot of applause on that one. I like the idea of the smaller screen, but so it's smarter in terms of how it throttles the refresh rate. Performance. Okay. They say it's best in class for performance right now. I beg to differ. Now it's got an A10X Fusion processor, 6-core CPU, high performance cores, high efficiency cores, blah 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 blah. Yeah, but I mean the fact that he mentioned that the performance is 120 hertz, the refresh rate. Yeah, it's a faster CPU, but man, if the display can't keep up, what's the point? Now the display should be able to keep up, which may have solved one of my biggest issues with iOS on the iPad. I think I'm looking forward to having a screen that better accommodates older apps too, because like Facebook looks absolutely horrible on the iPad Pro, like the big screen iPad Pro. Like it looks nasty. Like they haven't updated it. They haven't accommodated the new resolutions. So they're demonstrating effectively. It looks like a image editing app or creation app. So he's talking about being able to perceive the refresh rate, and I'm one of those who can absolutely, it's palpable to me, and I think that I'd love to be able to see um, that performance, that type of hardware getting pushed into the iPhone. I really would. Like pushing to 120 would solve a lot of problems, not all the problems necessarily, but it may have eliminated jitter. See, the thing is, I'm not gonna buy it outright. Like I learned my lesson. That was really stupid to have picked this up outright, just blind. I'm going to wait until I see it in store before I do anything. Like I want to actually see it, play with it, know that the general operation throughout is just cleaner. So I don't know. It just a lot of it just remains to be seen. So they're doing a lot to sell people on the new iPad Pro. I don't know, because is that going to compel people to upgrade? I don't know. I mean, this is great for creatives, but I just don't know if the average person is necessarily if they're necessarily going to see the difference. I don't know, man. I even debated getting rid of the iPad. Period. Full stop. Like not even because I don't. I'm using it right now to watch a video, but it's the first time I've picked it up in eons. So I mean, even though it's nice, I guess one thing that would impress me is being able to do family account. Within one iPad, then it becomes more than just mine, right? And I didn't see that in the iOS 11 updates. The extraneous um, updates, new cameras. Oh, it does 4K video, front facing camera, which I have used that before, but more often than not, I've got my phone on me to do that. Mm. So it uses fast USB 3 transfer, faster charging. Mm. So instead of 9.7 anymore, I wonder what the resolution is going to be. Like what the home screen is going to look like. I don't know, dude. I seriously, I've gone back and forth on whether or not I'm going to just sell sell the iPad outright. They each start with 64 gigs of memory. The only thing that might pull me back, maybe down the line, a few years down the line, is Jedi. But I mean, Diana's on. If she's using a computer, it's her phone. Jedi won't be ready for this kind of stuff for another maybe 5 years. I mean, you gotta be careful. You don't want to expose kids to technology too early, man. You certainly don't want to give them their own device outright. You can order them today. They start shipping next week. Start. No, but you haven't heard the full iOS 11 story yet in relation to iPad. Okay. Now, if they are talking about iPad family account, one device, that may move me. This is the largest iOS release for iPad ever. Starts with the dock. Oh, so the dock, it basically looks like a Mac now, the dock. Not that I use the dock all that often. And now you can summon the dock from the bottom of the screen. That's interesting. Multitasking, swipe up, pull an app out, like a windowed app. That's compelling. Like it's a PIP, or you can snap it. But you can now set up different spaces. So if you configured it such that you have one app on one side of the screen and another app on the other one, drag and drops coming to iPad, which is a big deal if you do a lot of that multitasking, which I don't. Some people do. Oh, interesting. So you can, instead of hitting shift to like pull the pound sign down, you could like flick down on the virtual key and it will use that shift. Files is now an app on iOS. Mm. You get the Finder on the on iOS or on iPad. Third-party storage providers are integrated too. Eh, I mean, it looks neat. All right. Yeah, look at the apps. Look how far apart they are. Like even the dock is just more reasonable. Interesting windowed features. They're definitely positioning this to be a computer replacement. I mean, like if someone were to ask, like an average user were to ask, should I get an iPad or a Mac? This is a compelling, insanely compelling option. Dragging and dropping. So you can drag across spaces too. Oh, you can add to the selection mid drag. That's that's impressive. Nice object management features. But wait, is he using the big iPad? Ugh. Oh, you can drag attachments into your files. So the question is can you get to the Files app from your phone? I can't imagine you wouldn't be able to. Eh. So yeah, I mean it's interesting because you can connect all the third party services that you might use or just get to them. You know, it's just to me it just seems like a nightmare. I mean to manage all that. Yeah. If you use the if you use these types of services on a regular basis, specifically from your iPad, I have good productivity features, I guess. And it's got the spaceship campus kind of taking off. Last resort. That's what it was titled. It's funny. Now he wants to talk about Apple Pencil. Okay. There's a new create PDF option, which is you can do anyway in the print preview feature on iOS. You can instantly mark up screenshots. That's nice. Of course, I had that. Took the screenshot when it was too late. It's probably no. That's funny. Handwritten text is now searchable. It feels um but I'm not the customer, so Notes now has a built-in document scanner. Not a bad idea there. Not sure I'd be inclined to just get an iPad for that though, but or a pencil. So they're just going to demonstrate the integration of the pencil within iOS 11. Oh, cool! My the Lego R3M2 got here too. Polybag, I missed it. Unfortunately, it was like a California, a Legoland California exclusive, and also only available in the UK, which is kind of mildly frustrating because there was no simple way of getting it here. And I really wish they had a greater degree of parity between what they might reveal as like an exclusive promo at a specific location and making it available for anybody. Of course, you might argue, well, that should be exclusive to that one location. But I guess it just makes it more difficult when you're looking to get something and you can only get it at a certain location. At least, like, Disney has the Disney Parks app wherein they make a lot of the park exclusives available. And that's helped greatly, like in relation to some of the stuff that I'd been hoping to get, and thank God for Liz and her family. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell I'd do. I'm still waiting for some newer Build-A-Droids to get here. Don't know when that's going to happen, but I believe they've all been built, which is good because they're specifically instead of just Build-A-Droid Astromechs, they're the protocol droids. That's the first time Build-A-Droid's been available for that type of droid, which I'm kind of excited about. So I just wish that I didn't have to go the route of finding it, and that's a challenge enough, but then paying a price to find it. Because if you go to the actual location and you get the exclusive, it's a couple bucks. And if you know someone who can go, it's great. But if you can't go, you're automatically paying an exorbitant rate, and it's like, I think the whole play of exclusives, specifically tied into a location or event. In fact, I just saw on Twitter that the Funko exclusives for SDCC, which I'm definitely not going to. At least that's not the plan. But like I talked, I was just talking about pop exclusives. Oh, this morning on Instagram Live, someone was asking, and so the ones that are going to be available: Bodhi Rook, the Combat Assault Tank Trooper, Supreme Leader Snoke. That's kind of neat. A bigger one, and a holographic Leia and R2D2. So like I'd be inclined out of that range possibly to get Snoke and the Tank Trooper, but since they're exclusives, like it's just I already know they're just going to be an arm and a leg, so I can only probably just get one. So it's all the more reason why I'm grateful that I kind of made that decision where I knew I could not be a completist. So in having to kind of scale back, it's kind of freeing in a way. Like instead of stressing out and like, oh, they got this is available, that's available. Am I going to be able to find everything that I'm looking for? Instead of having to stress out about that, if I'm just concentrating on one or two, not only is that a lot more affordable, but like in terms of the space that might be required, it's not as unwieldy. So I think for the range of SDCC pops that I'd be looking for, it'd probably be the Tank Pilot, because that out of those four would be the ones I'd be most drawn to. So if I move forward, again, someone asked me, the Millennium Funko, I think, on Instagram Live this morning, which was a fantastically more interesting conversation than anything Apple's doing today. So he asked, are you, have you completed your collection? And by the way, they're still demonstrating the pencil on the iPad. Anyway, I've decided that I'm probably just going to focus in on the aliens, creatures, robots for Funko Pops because I can't be a completist and I'm running out of space for them. So I may even pare down the collection that I have and sell a few of the ones that I have picked up, especially if they might be going for a higher rate than what I might have picked them up for. So that's kind of my hope, is that I can just keep focused on aliens, creatures, robots, cyborgs, and exclusives. So it's kind of in between the exclusives, which are more rare, certainly not always as affordable, but the idea is that I can keep everything manageable without having to be stressed out about not being a completist. Oh, iOS 11 developer beta today. I don't know when. I don't know if they said. I don't think they said public beta. Public beta usually follows. Well, recently it's been following within days of a developer beta, so that will likely be coming down the pike. Yeah, it's just developers today. I do wonder though how it's going to work, or how it would work on a. I'm nervous about betas on primary devices. I'm really nervous. Oh, they're just doing another commercial. I'd imagine they're demonstrating the new version, and they're showing people using their iPad in real life, doing things. They're showing people being productive. I think more people use their device to not be productive at all. It's true. Like, I use my, what, I'll just show you how I use it right now. Instagram. I'm browsing Instagram right now. Look at that. See, Snoke and what's her name? I only know her by her handle. She posted a photo of Snoke, and there's Leia and R2D2, Bodhi. There's another Yak Face just posted. They're all posting the same update. It's funny because we're kind of excited about that. Yeah, see, there. May the Funko be with you. Also, just shared. It's funny. Uh I really need to find my own rum slag. Oops. Slag. I think it's, yeah, rum slag. Yeah. Now they're going to talk about music. I said that to Skeleton Astronaut there. Another toy photographer. So it's an update to music. I no longer use what they have to offer. You know what I do? I go to YouTube. Play such and such on YouTube because it's free. I'm serious. YouTube just killed it there. And they're talking about AirPods. Again, something just not interested in for me at all. Talking about home, music. I wonder if this is where that damn Siri speaker thing. I don't know, dude. They want to reinvent home music. Okie dokie. We shall see. Is it too early in the day for a beer? I don't have a problem listening to music in the home right now. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, that Airplay 2 thing was interesting. Now he's mentioning Sonos. That's kind of like a Sonos killer there, as far as I'm concerned. A breakthrough home speaker. I'm not an audiophile. I mean, like, I listen to it, I'm like, sounds good to me. Like, hell, I'm used to listening to music on my smartphone on those speakers, and I'm fine. But I'm not an audiophile. Spatial awareness in a speaker. It's going to be later this year. I don't even know if they got a name for it. We'll see. An Apple speaker, I guess. And it looks like a Mac Pro with mesh. Kind of. I don't know. They're just doing close-up shots right now. Yeah, it's like an omnidirectional speaker there. HomePod. Barely anybody like woo. HomePod. But I guess we already have like Star Wars Bluetooth speakers. Says it's under 7 inches tall, covered in a mesh. Oh man. A 7 beamforming tweeter array, each with their own driver, directional control. Uh, 4-inch woofer, automatic bass equalization. And it's free from distortion, they say. Controlled by an A8 chip. Real-time acoustic modeling. Audio beamforming, multi-channel echo cancellation. So it's just more aware of its environment, right? So it wouldn't sound bad. I don't know. I guess I'm not that much of an audiophile. Like people say, "Hey, listen to this MP3." And here, listen to the FLAC file. I'm like, okay. I don't hear the difference. Neat stuff, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I guess I'm happy enough with our Star Destroyer. I mean, it looks nice. It does. It looks clean. And the fact that it can detect the space around it, it is neat. I don't know. So they're showing a visualization of music as it's being played in this particular room and what the difference might be with traditional stuff, traditional environment versus what they're talking about doing with their HomePod. I mean, of course, listening to the on the headphones, I'm not going to be able to pick up any kind of difference at all. and I guess they modified it such that it's better. And you can hear slight variations in the music, but I just makes music more rich. Of course, it is garbage in, garbage out, right? You know, and most of what I listen, I'm so YouTube, right? It's not gonna be. So then, of course, if you have two, they work together. That's funny. A musicologist is what they say. You know, something intelligent. A Siri, if you will. It works with Apple Music, of course, naturally. So I guess smart playlists or something. Yeah, 6 microphone array. So you can tell what to play. Yeah. It's primarily for music, seemingly. Play I'm Poppy? That's funny. eh, yeah, we'll see. So how do you know if it's if you're invoking the speaker by saying, you know, hey, or you're invoking the one on your iPad or Mac or phone? Eh. You know, I suppose if I listened to them side by side, I could probably hear the difference between the two. But even if someone brought it over, right, and I'm like listening on one and the other, I'm like, oh look, Siri integration. Ugh. Shit. I'm opening gin. I've been needing to get through these. Oh man, she's got a multi-part rifle, kind of like Cassian. Okay, so if I do this, I see. That's one hell of a rifle there. Let's see if I can do it this way. So, of course, it's private. Oops. Because it's Apple. It's a good reason to like Apple, actually. Your privacy. Oh, yeah. So they're saying 300 to 500, 100 to 200, 400 to 700. 100? Maybe. 349. Whoa! I don't have enough middle fingers on me right now. I'll put it right next to my Google Home and Amazon, whatever the hell. I don't have either one of them. Is this... Are we done? Is this... Oh, I gotta be careful because I've got some accessories here. She's good. Got a couple of hilts. Tim Cook's back on stage. I'm gonna hold on to that. He's recapping. This was the guards. Yeah. Yeah, he's just recapping right now. I'm really concerned about the iOS 11 design ethos. Trying to get the gun in this guy's hand here. There we go. Yeah, I think this is just going to have to go in like this. Okay, there we go. It's probably going to fall out. Oh, well. There we go. Oops, let's get that. You got 2 sneak peeks. That iMac Pro black mouse and keyboard I'm interested in. Better hold on to the... Oh, there we go. Don't want to lose those. Oh, I meant to open Fin. I've made quite a mess. All right, Fin. I think this is the first time I've opened, well, most of them, minus him. I already have him out. Or another one. I got like a little Emperor's Royal Guard shelf here. Ah! Michelle Obama is going to be at a fireside chat tomorrow. FYI. Impressive. Makes sense to me. That's actually pretty special thing there. He says, I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Yeah, I think that would be my summation in a word. It's now wrapped up, thank God. I'm not going to say that was painful to listen to experience. I'm definitely not overwhelmed. I don't know if I quite made it to whelmed. If anything got me to whelmed, it would be the Star Wars Darth Vader part. That would be the highlight of WWDC for me. So I'm going to try to be doing more open AMA videos with everybody. A lot of my deeper intelligence might go specifically to patrons, but they're always welcome to ask questions outright. I'm doing my best to strike a balance. I usually only talk about the things I'm interested in. So the only reason why I did the WWDC thing today was, number one, I did it primarily for those who are supporting me outright, and that is, it's a list of hundreds of people, and I'm very appreciative. They're always typically in the Discord chat, I do my best for them every single week, and then some. I'm still doing videos, regular videos, quote unquote regular videos. A lot of the videos I've been doing lately are specifically, like I said, the things that I'm far more fascinated by and interested in, largely in the realm of pop culture, Star Wars stuff. But that's not going to change anytime soon. So thank you for watching. A lot of people do watch for that. And then I've been getting Jedi into more things, and I do a little short videos, kind of like it's a vlog-esque. I'm glad to be able to engage across the various platforms on a regular basis as much as I possibly can. But this was just I guess perfunctory more than anything else. So I had fun here. Happy to be able to do this for anybody who continued to tune in to the end of the video, and I'd be shocked if anybody did. In fact, if you made it this far into the video, I need the word to type in a comment. If you made it this deeply into the video you're watching, the word to type in a comment. No, I better not use that. That would probably get blocked in a spam filter. The word is what's a good word? I'm going blank on where I'm looking around the room for objects that are just seemingly random. Here, potato chip. Potato, the word potato. So random, right? Potato chip, Mr. Potato Head, potato. Just use the word potato in a comment if you made it this far into the video. Because I'd be shocked if you did. I love you. I appreciate you, but at this point, I'm going to say, may the Force be with you.